العمالية بمناسبة العيد العمال العالمي أننا نتضامن مع أخواننا العمال بأننا نؤكد على وحدة المصير إلى للتضامن مع جميع الفقراء في العالم. علينا أن نرص صفوفنا، بدون رص صفوفنا لا نستطيع أن نحقق أي مطلب من مطالبنا. يجب أن نؤكد على استقلاليتنا كطبقة عاملة عن كل الجهات وكل الأحزاب وكل الحكومات والإدارات. يجب أن نكون قوة واحدة.
At the conclusion of the demonstration, they handed a letter of demands to the
All those in favor signify with a sign of aye.
Following these tours, the AFL-CIO, the largest American union federation, held its national convention. For the first time in its history, a resolution was adopted virtually unanimously calling for the rapid withdrawal of U.S. troops from a war situation.
And bring them home. And bring them home.
According to Ms. Hozan, who participated in the June tours of the U.S., the tours and the speech given by Fala Alwan, who was invited once again for the convention, had a tremendous impact.
For us, myself and Falah Alwan, we both spoke about the importance and the need for ending the occupation of Iraq, and this has spread among a lot of labor activists in that conference. And so this has created a lot of desire to pass that resolution in the AFL-CIO convention.
今年の全校ではこの対テロ戦争に全面的に対決し、グローバル資本主義の戦争システムを全世界で解体し、戦争のない世界を作っていくための運動方針が討議されます。
In July, the National Assembly for Peace and Democracy, dubbed ZENCO, took on the issue of how to enhance solidarity with the IFC, among other themes. Guests from overseas came from the US, France, the Philippines, and Indonesia. IFC members were also invited, and they used the opportunity to disseminate their activities around the world. Participants agreed to hold a pro-IFC World Conference.
To me, the greatest achievement of this conference is the connections that have been built between different people and different movements. We have people from Iraq here, we have people from Philippines here, we have people from the US here, we have people from Indonesia here, and we have all sat together and talked about how to work together and build.
I hope the resolution in this assembly help for Iraqi people, but the more important, help for the freedom, democracy, and the human rights around the world.
We have the same background. I mean, Indonesia is one of the largest Muslim nation in the world. We also has the history of the largest socialist movement. So for us, it's very important for them to come to Indonesia and talk to so many pro-democracy activists in Indonesia about the existence of such organizations, such forces, civilian forces in Iraq.
It enables us to create a lot of new committees in support of IFC all over the world. That will be very fine.
An IFC Solidarity Committee has already been launched in France. Thus, solidarity with the IFC is steadily spreading in Europe, the US, and Asia.
それはもう IFC が本当に世界の反戦運動の場に本当に登場したということだというふうに思います。世界の反戦運動が課題になったんだと、今回初めてなったと思います。
やっぱり自分の国はやっぱ自分で治めていくっていう気持ちがすごい現れててよかったと思います。それはまあ同じね、私の住む沖縄でもやっぱ同じことなのかなと思って、やっぱ国任せだけではいけないなってことを思いました。
やっぱり今日本の学生は知らんすぎるっていうか、学生にもよらへんけど、だからやっぱり 行動っていうか、まずうちらがやらなあかんことはそう報告会とかそうやっぱり知らせることから始めていかなあかんと思う。
平和的に民主的にイラクで取り組んでいる人たちがいるってことを伝えきれれば十分同年代の中にも広がっていくと思ってます。はい。
In just 6 months since its founding in March, the IFC has rapidly expanded its membership and international support is spreading quickly. In September, IFC Secretary Samir Adil visited Japan and reported with confidence on their activities during this period. Among other things, he emphatically denounced the draft constitution, for which the national referendum was rapidly approaching.
Every word in this constitution and every part in this constitution contradiction with the Declaration of International Human Rights and plus divided Iraqi society to the ethnic and nationalist and religious and to the tribal society. And because that IFC, the philosophy of the IFC establishing to end the occupation and end the terrorism in Iraq, because that the constitution is a one process of American process. This is in one package, because that IFC refused all of the package.
The IFC operates radio stations and publishes an organization newspaper to communicate its opinions, and it has won broad support. However, it needs to do more to sway public opinion.
Just imagine our society, there is more than 25 satellite TV. It's all of them is nationalist and Islamic TV. We give the hope to the people. We give the alternative to the people in Iraq. We want to define the people humanity definition, not ethnic, not Islamic laws. We don't have this satellite TV to educate the people.
The IFC also aims to launch a satellite TV station. Another challenge at the moment is to open 10 additional offices around the country to further promote the movement.
If we solve this problem, I give you guarantee. For 6 months, IFC be the first power in the world. We are very clear, we have perspective, we have agenda, we have program, we have good cadres and good characters and good leaders. But the only problem we have is the financial problem.
The 2.5 years of the regime under the occupation have been driving the lives and livelihoods of the people to a crisis, far from a recovery of civil life.
خدي سمير عادل سكرتيري مؤتمر خدي خوم تندين مني أو منك حياة من ذاك الأوبر لحظات بو كشتن ونا كشتن شو حالة أنا بوي ويك المشكلة قبل كان.
In June, one of Azad's fellow activists was murdered. In urban areas, security is very poor, and even holding a demonstration can be dangerous.
And we know, very dangerous, because the suicide car bombing, explosion, bomb from bomb shells, all of this be the demonstration target of all of this.
At the moment, the situation facing children is rapidly growing ever more serious. The number of street children is drastically increasing, and as many as 7,000 children are drug addicts, according to an NGO survey. Mr. Azad, who visited Japan in July as an IFC representative, is engaged in the operation of a protection center for children in Kirkuk.
من العراق شيء زوره نرواني بلي تلياكية دايك واكني شوينية من العراق لهيج تكوك من البهرمنية لحقوق أما اشتكى شيء قبرتري تلياكية أما اشتكى ترى شيء بمسكنة بدايك وباوكا تو كذا من IFC بديل العراق مالتناتيف العراق هنتيا شارتي إما دبيت جواب دينه بو أوا سنتر ما كردو دوك جواب بداية كان من علم دينه تعليمي كمبيوتر فلان في سر أمانة بو بيجي قورقة هنيشة.
There is an urgent need to build shelters for children, to give them places where they can live in ease. International anti-war actions took place on September 24th. People took to the streets to protest the war in many countries, including the US, the UK, Canada, and Japan. IFC representatives took part in actions in the US and Japan, making appeals of their activities. On the same day in Iraq, under dangerous circumstances, citizens dared to join demonstrations staged by the IFC. Some 600 people demonstrated in Baghdad and about 3,000 in Basra, showing their solidarity with the international mobilization to the public at home and abroad. In January 2006, an international conference is scheduled to be held to enhance support for the IFC. What prospects does the IFC have to offer the world today?
I'm not look to the Iraqi local. My view not local. My view is international. After Soviet collapse, there is the humanity movement under question, and every part of this movement has a different perspective. But this international conference give a one view, one perspective, and build this front. And this is not help just Iraqi society, but this movement. This is the first step to be anti-humanity American policy that is called a New World Order.
Yes to freedom. نعم للحرية. Yes to freedom. نعم للحرية. Yes to freedom. نعم للحرية. Yes to freedom. لا للاحتلال. Not occupation. لا للاحتلال. Not occupation. نعم للحرية. Yes to freedom.